So I'm about to share a theory on how I believe the sequence of events occurred that led up to the massive pump on Via earlier today. So I created another video just a little bit ago talking about how these attackers were able to obtain access to all of these people's wallets and able to coordinate all of these market buys on Via. But let's look at what actually is occurring there or what has happened, right? So people are wondering, okay, well, how was it that these orders went through at exactly 0.25? Well, it's quite easy if you think about it. So let's take a look at the hours prior to this massive pump that occurred at about 9:55 a.m. Eastern time. So what happened? You can take a look here at 3:30 in the morning. Here was some volume, 13,000 tokens changed hands, and then the next one 1,000, 2,000, and here's another 25,000, and here's another 68,000. So right here we're talking about 100,000 Via coins were traded hands. My guess, my assumption is this is where one of the accumulation phases occurred. Here's another small pump. It was only 55,000. I don't know if this was the pump from, or not pump, but purchase from the attackers, or if this was just a bot that was accumulating, just waiting for a pump to happen. Because a lot of people can look at this and say, oh, well, there's a pretty decent spike in volume, so it leads me to believe something is about to happen. So this might be a nuance. But right here, we can see there's about 100,000 tokens that had traded hands. And so what that did is it gave the attackers, it gave them several hours. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 hours that they had to determine how many tokens they needed to sell in other people's wallets, which occurred slightly before this pump. It had to happen very, very quick. So they were able to do the massive market sells on all of their victims' wallets on the tokens that they had in order to do the massive purchase. So 395,000 Via were purchased. And my assumption is these attackers, seeing the price here at 0.25, they were thinking, okay, well, how do I basically increase my holdings by 1,000% or 10,000%, whatever it was? Well, they put their sell orders in at 0.025, which nobody in their right mind would have a sell order set at 0.025. Because if you've got something that is worth 0.00025, nobody's going to expect it to go up that high. So they set their sell orders at 0.025. And then, well, what happened is when they set all of the market buys for all of their victims to buy based on all of the coins that they just sold, it's going to fill their orders because it ate up the entire order book. There were almost 10,000 Bitcoins that went inside of this order right now if they all purchased at 0.025. So that's exactly what happened. And that's why the body of this was so small, is because the entire order book just got eaten up and and it went right back down to where it was. And of course, natural market movement moved it up a little bit, but the big kahuna right here, 400,000 volume in that little spot. And my assumption is this 100,000 that was accumulated right here, all of these had a sell order at 0.025, which is why a market buy takes into account only the orders that are there. It doesn't take into account the price that they are. Market buy says, well, just buy the next available coin, whatever price it is. So if there was 300,000 coins set below 0.025 and the next 100,000 are at 0.25, it's going to eat up that order and it's going to fill. So whoever it was that coordinated this, Binance says they're going to get their funds back. And I think it's really great if they're able to do it. But whoever purchased this 100,000 Via at this level and assumingly made their sell order at 0.025, that's a lot of Bitcoin that likely immediately left the market in this little area right here. Within that hour, I can guarantee you whatever Bitcoins that user had are gone. And if Binance is able to get that back, I think that's great if they're able to do that. Chances are pretty good most of it is going to get stuck in Binance anyway because of the withdrawal limits. Um, but that's my theory on what happened. The attackers have had control of the API keys for these users for a long time, and then they just took this time as a moment to strike, saying, okay, this is our time. We're going to take over. We're going to buy up a whole bunch of these coins, and then we're going to make everybody else eat up the rest of the order book, and we're going to sell ours at a super high price, and the market buys are just going to eat that up. That's all I've got to say about that. I hope that made sense, and feel free to leave me some comments. Let me know what you think.